So I do really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. I think that, we've been working together for what, the better half of this year. And obviously when we met, things were very different to how they are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So
very different.
give us a rundown on kind of your backstory and like what you were struggling with and kind of what made you reach out in the first place.
Yeah. So I've always done a lot of sports. I've been quite a sporty person and just my whole life. So whenever it came to losing weight, I would just kind of smash myself out and doing running and gymming and all those things. But last year I went through a separation and kind of like let myself go a little bit, just kind of focusing on that and the mental side of that and the emotional side of it. And but I was still gymming like 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week, and just still trying to do that. But nothing was helping and nothing was shifting. And I knew because I'm a trainer as well, I knew that nutrition was a big part of it, but I've never ever had to focus on nutrition before because I always just lost weight with exercise. But I know getting older, I'm going to start getting into that menopause phase. And being a single mom, I obviously didn't have the flexibility to do as much training, like running and stuff. Like I couldn't smash myself out like I usually do.
Mm.
Um, and so I was like, I know I need to learn how to eat. Like I need to learn how to eat better to fuel myself. So the biggest reason I signed up with you was to learn about nutrition. Um, yeah, and just learn about how to actually eat for my body, but without restricting myself. So like a sustainable way of
Mm.
eating. Yeah. So that was my biggest reason for joining you. I think when we first signed up and you kept asking me what my goals were, I'm like, I don't really know what my goals are. Like, I knew I wanted to lose weight, obviously, but I think everything for me was a feeling goal. I just wanted to feel better and learn how to eat and yeah, just be confident with my food choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to come from that place of like smashing yourself with exercise and the food just kind of falls by the wayside. And you're like, I know it could be better, but it's also like not such a priority when I've got the time and the love also of training as hard as you do. But it only
Mm,
gets you so far. And like you'd said, as we do get a
yeah.
bit older and take on more responsibilities, it does become a lot harder.
Yeah.
So with your nutrition, how like if you had to put words to it, how are you feeling when we met? Because you said like your goals were feeling based. So
Mm-hmm.
what were you feeling?
At the time, I was feeling like I was trying to eat healthy, but it's kind of when you don't have the knowledge and people are like, I'm going to eat healthy. It's like, like, I didn't really know what that meant. Like, I didn't know about macros. Like, I knew of them, but I didn't know how to properly follow them. I didn't really understand that. So I was feeling quite lost and not knowing how to start. And I knew I wanted to look after myself. I think I also knew I didn't want to do a diet because like I feel like they are unsustainable. You hold yourself to them and then when you come off them you just put all the weight on. And I wanted to find a way to do it sustainably. But now I feel a lot more confident in it. Like I know how to kind of watch my macros and try and hit those and make choices. So if I'm not at home or I'm out or something, just to make choices that will better fit into my goals and um, how to watch my food and how to meal prep properly. And yeah, so I feel like I've got a lot more control and confidence over all of that. So I feel way more in control. And yeah, and I think the best part, like, and what I tell people when people say, "Oh, you've been dieting," I'm like, "No, I've just been eating better." I'm like, I still enjoy my chocolate. Like, I still have a bit of chocolate. I just don't eat the entire chocolate. And I'm really satisfied with just having like a few blocks now and stuff, as opposed to before when I just like, oh, I've got it, I might as well eat it. So
Yeah.
I've just found balance, and I feel like I've got balance.
It's been actually quite a while since you've struggled with like overeating and feeling out of control. It seems like it's easy for me to even forget like where you've come from because
Yeah.
now it seems like eating is just like this new normal. Like you don't really second guess things and sure things pop up and you're like, how do I handle this? Or, you
Mm.
know, nothing ever goes 100% perfectly because that's life.
Life.
But I don't remember in the past couple of months, the last time that you've said, "Hey, I really overdid it," or "I'm really like not proud of my eating."
Yeah. And
It's
so I
been a
think,
while.
yeah, I think because I have there's something like changed in my head where I'm like, I could eat the entire thing. Like I've got enough, like in my daily calories, or something I could, but I'm like, I actually don't want to. And I
Mm,
think that's what's changed for me is just because I have it doesn't mean I have to eat it. Like it's like I can have some if I want to. So yeah, it's probably more of a control where I'd be like before I'd be like, oh, I've got a flavor chocolate in the cupboard. I might as well finish it because then it's gone and I don't have to think about it again. Whereas now chocolate will sit in the cupboard for ages and I'll just have a little block every now and again when I want one. So it's I think it's just that I've had a complete shift in my mindset of you don't have to finish it. You don't have to eat it all. It's
It's
good.
huge.
Mm.
Small but life-changing. What do you reckon's actually contributed the most to that shift?
I think tracking my food, so actually seeing what's in food, um, and I eat a lot better. So I eat food that I'm full and I enjoy it. It's not like cardboard food. Like you see people on diets and they're just eating salads and stuff like I feel like I'm still eating really proper food
Yeah.
and I feel satisfied. And then just I do still like having something sweet, but I don't want to eat it till I feel sick, and I just have something just to satisfy that little sweet tooth. I've also found like healthier ways to make like protein brownies and stuff like that, where I'm still getting a good hit of protein and it's sweet. So it's still just finding different ways to do things instead of making myself, because I know that if I sit and I eat a whole block of chocolate, I'm actually going to just feel gross after that. So it's just that like preempting what I'm going to feel later, like just have
Mm.
enough to feel good.
Has anything surprised you about the way that I coach nutrition and the experience that you've had and how you found things?
I think a lot of people they think that when you say you're with a nutritionist, they think that you're on a diet. And
Mm.
like I was chatting with a friend over the weekend, I'm like, she's like, your diet's working. I'm like, oh, but I'm not on a diet. I think that's the biggest misconception that people have about it. Is I'm like, I'm not on a diet. I'm like, I'm just like, especially because she asked me, she's like, what's your meal plan that you're on? I'm like, I'm not on a meal plan. I've just learned how to look at food, and I think that's the biggest thing that you've taught me is that it's not a restricted meal plan or a diet that you're on. It's just learning how to actually look at food, which I think has been
Mm.
my biggest takeaway nutrition on the nutrition side.
Yeah. Were
Yeah.
you expecting like hard and fast rules and a meal plan and that flexibility
Mm.
surprised you or
I don't think it surprised me because I've been following you on social for quite a while before I actually finally joined
sure.
up with you. So, and I think that was something that I liked about you and your presence was that you very much promote a healthy lifestyle and a sustainable lifestyle as opposed to you got to eat this, you got to eat this, you got to eat this. And I think that's what drew me to you in the first place was
Yeah.
sustainability and just like living a good life and being real, like a
Mm.
real, yeah.
What do you mean by that? Because that is feedback. I'm not fishing here, but I'm so curious
No.
because that word comes up all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, are other people out there being fake? And like, I'm not fishing, but like, what does that mean for you? Like, real?
Yeah, I think you're very relatable. I found you
Mm.
very relatable, and I think we had a couple of chats about other stuff before I signed up with you. And I was like, you're just a real person, and you teach these things that are sustainable and long term. And then you post like you're climbing, and I don't know, you came across like a real person as opposed to when you look at these other people who are just posting recipes and saying, or like standing there in their bikini, like, oh, I did this by just eating this and this. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel real. Like you just felt like a real person that actually cares and understands and
Oh,
lives a life. Like you don't just, yeah, walk around in your bikini posting, posting recipes, if that makes sense.
yeah, not a robot. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's really kind. And I really do take that on. And it's nice to have kind of that feedback because, like I said, the whole reason I wanted to kind of interview you in the first place is because you were in, I wouldn't say such a bad spot, but you had your reasons for needing help.
Mm-hmm.
And to see you do such a 180, but in a way that doesn't feel forced and hasn't meant that you're eating separately from your kids and you've had no life. Um, I think the more people out there like you that can hear this can kind of find like a bit of hope and go, oh, there's a better way. I don't
Yeah.
have to stay stuck and I don't have to feel like results are just for other people that do follow like a robotic meal plan and kind of put everything else on pause because your life has certainly not been on pause. I mean, you even went away for what, like a whole month to South
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the only time that I've been with you that I haven't properly tracked my meals. And I was, I think I was quite surprised from because I joined a gym while I was there, so I carried on gymming. So I was doing my 3 sessions a week. But food wise, I wasn't like restricting myself or holding back. Like I was still eating at the barbecues and I was having a few drinks and I had some treats and stuff. But by the time I came back, I think I'd had I lost a little bit of weight, or I kept it. So yeah, it was yeah, and then so that helped my mindset a lot. I'm like, I still went on holiday, and I was still conscious of what I was eating, but I wasn't restricting myself at all. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a really good switch in my mindset as well.
Mm.
Mm,
That was actually a hesitation of yours when we first spoke, right? You said, I'm not sure if now's the right time because I've got this trip coming up.
yeah,
What
yeah,
what kind of helped you work through that and go, there's no perfect time?
yeah. Well, I think that's what you said to me. You said, "Was it?" You're like, "That's perfect. That's perfect." So we've got. Because I think I joined you in January. I left in April, and you're like, "We've got like 3 months to get you kind of set up and get you a routine and get you going, and then you can practice that." I think that was the word you used. You're like, "You can practice that while you're away." I was like, "Okay," and I was a bit nervous, but I was like, "But I did. I spent that 3 months tracking and just learning about food and everything." And then when I got to South Africa, I actually felt quite confident, even not tracking, to still have fun but not go overboard. So
Mm.
yeah. Mm,
That's so cool. I do
mm,
believe that those opportunities are the perfect time to practice. I'm like, you're gonna eat for the rest of your life. So if you only know how to eat when everything's controlled, then you're gonna feel out of control every other point in life. And that's kind of not what a lifestyle is by
mm.
definition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. How have you found the training side of things? Because you'd said that you were really smashing yourself with training. Have you been surprised that you don't have to train as hard, or like how's that side of things gone?
I've seen like there's a girl I follow, I think she's in the States, and she's been saying for ages, she's like, I eat food and I eat really well, but she's like, I only train 3 times a week, and she looks phenomenal. And I was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I couldn't imagine, because I was like doing HIIT classes and going to the gym and running and doing all of this, and that was the only way that I could find myself to lose weight. But I think I noticed it a lot when I was in South Africa as well. Is I was only training 3 times a week, and I came back and I was like, I actually still feel really strong. And since I've been
Mm.
back from South Africa, I've only been training 3 times a week, and I've been on like a couple of runs, but just little 5K runs, like nothing crazy. But I was like, and my capacity wise, I actually only have the capacity to do 3 times a week at the moment, and I'm like, I've been surprised by the changes in my body on
Mm.
how my definition has changed, my size has changed, everything has changed, and I'm like, I'm only training 3 times a week, and so it has surprised me.
It's pretty cool. I
It is
guess to
cool.
set the tone as well and give context is like, what actually have you achieved? Because obviously we're talking about how things were, but things have changed. Like, what's changed for you? How are you feeling now?
I feel really good. I before I had my second child was probably the last time I was at my smallest, and I took all those clothes and I packed them away. And every now and again, I've been getting them out and trying to trying them on, and they're too tight and too small. And I don't think I've actually even told you this, but last week I pulled out that bag of clothes, and some of the pants and the skirts that I have in there that were tight for me before, but they fitted me. Some of them are a bit too big for me now. So I've lost, and I've been wearing some of them to work and stuff. So it's felt really awesome, because I feel like my body is it feels strong. I feel really strong and healthy. And it felt that was a really good non-scale victory for me. It was fitting into all those old clothes. Yeah.
That's
Did
so cool.
I think since January I've lost 15 kgs now.
Yeah.
So, hmm,
I love that you've highlighted the non-scale victory before the
yeah.
scale because 15
Mm-hmm.
kilos is a shit ton of weight. That is
Mm,
a lot of scale weight. And some people would be like, that is a dream come true. Like, that's all. And in your head, you're like, yeah, but I feel strong and I can fit my
yeah.
clothes. And there's all these
Mm.
other things. And like, did you anticipate? I mean, obviously you were feeling focused, but like, do you feel as though you've accomplished that feeling goal? Like,
Yeah.
have you kind of hit the mark or
Yeah, I think I have. I feel really good, but I feel more than I was anticipating feeling. I feel a lot more confident, and I feel, yeah, I have a lot more confidence than I thought I would. I didn't actually, I knew I would lose a bit of weight because I had weight to lose, but I didn't think I would lose as much as I have. And I didn't think that I would fit into those old clothes again. And I didn't think I'd get as small as I have, but I also haven't been like, it's been nice to lose the weight, but I wasn't focused on being little. I think for me, it was more being focused on being happy and feeling good. Because even when I was bigger, I was like, I was still, I was the biggest I'd probably ever been, but I still felt like I had more of an appreciation for my body than I've had in a long time. And now that
Yeah.
I've lost that weight, I have even more appreciation for it and what it can do. And I love that I've stuck to it and kind of seen it through and just seeing what my body can do. I think that always surprises me, especially when I was doing adventure racing as well, is what your body can actually do if you let it and if you trust it and you just keep following the process. I think a big thing for me that I've always known it, but I've really stuck to it this year is discipline over motivation. Like there's been some days where I rock up at the gym and I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. But I'm like,
Mhm.
this is the only day I have to do this. If I don't go in today, I'm not going to have another day to make this session up because I'll have the kids with me and stuff. So it's just been that motivation over that discipline over motivation. But
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
It's pretty big, and I feel like you say that in
Mm.
every single workout recently because things have been full on, and without sharing your whole story because it's not my place and it's not so important. You've got a very busy life and a lot going on behind the scenes where anyone could go, oh yeah, of course you skipped the gym. Like that's understandable. And
Mm.
yet you're like, I'm here, I'm getting it done. And then you always feel better for it, right? Like it's never
100%.
a lost hour, you know?
Mm-mm. I think like this last week, I've had my kids with me for a week from Friday to Friday, and which I don't normally have. There's usually a break up in between, so I can get to the gym, and which was fine. Like I loved having them. We had a great time, but there was a lot going on behind the scenes with just a lot of like legal stuff happening and everything, and I was really stressed out. It's been a really horrible week, and I couldn't wait to get to the gym on Friday. So I'm like, I know that I'm tired, I'm emotional, I'm mentally drained, but I knew that getting to the gym, I was just like, it's all my way now of letting everything go. I know that those endorphins are going to release and I know I'm going to feel so much better. So it's like, it's become like a place for me that I can actually just let everything go and then actually have those endorphins afterwards to just feel better for the rest of the night. So,
Mm.
yeah.
It's huge. That's so cool. And I'm really happy to hear that like your relationship with training has also changed because like you said, you are a trainer. It's not like, you're coming in going, I'm totally green and I know nothing. Like there was a knowledge base there. But then to experience the actual shift of training a little bit less and eating well, eating sensibly and learning about how to fuel your body. Um, it's having that experience rather than the textbook knowledge, I think that can make a really big difference. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, yeah, making every session count, like just actually putting myself into that session and just blocking out the world and just making them count. So, because you see, like, sometimes you get to the gym and you kind of like half-ass it and you're like, well, I'm here. And you like, you don't really push yourself and you don't really do it. So for me, it's just been trying to make every session count and trying to go a little bit harder or push myself a bit more.
On
Yeah.
that, have you found that having me, external accountability, has meant that you have pushed yourself a little harder than you would otherwise?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it has. Because I knew that you'd ask me about it or or you'd see my videos that I've put up or something. So I like it definitely has. Or I know that if I skip a session, like you wouldn't be grumpy with me or anything. You'd just be like, why did you miss the session? Why didn't you go do that session? Like it's just having that accountability has definitely helped a lot,
Mm,
especially in the beginning, trying to build up the routine and that consistency. I definitely needed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel just some feedback for me that here I am fishing, but I'm fishing for honesty. So feel free to like punch me in the face. But have you found the way I've held you accountable and the approach that I've taken with you? I don't want to put words in your mouth. How have you found that side of things? Is there anything that you were missing or could have done better? I could have done better.
Yeah, I think, and you asked that, I think, in all your forms, like, is there anything else like that you can help me with? But I think that the way that you've approached me has been really good. I feel like you've had like a gentle approach, but a firm approach. But,
Mm.
yeah, just like gentle nudges when I haven't had something done, or just like asking me why I haven't done it, or if I haven't replied to you, just like a hello, where are you? So, gentle but firm, which is definitely what I've needed. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Haven't come down too hard and haven't been too easy.
No, no,
Cool.
neither. And
Okay.
yeah, it's worked for me. The approach has worked for me, just that
Cool.
accountability and that gentle push.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you. What would you say as advice for somebody that's in your shoes, thinking back to somebody that's got a lot of responsibilities and they've got no clue how to fuel their body and they're kind of working out, but none of it's really aligned. What would you say to them?
Um, so my big thing for this year was focusing on myself. I think I spent a lot of time with my young kids, focusing on them, and then going through a separation, focusing on that and stuff. And when I started this year, I was like, I need to focus on me. I need to fill my cup up so that I can fill other people's cups up because I'm not looking after myself. And so, if my advice for other people is just to reach out, because I think reaching out and asking the questions and having that initial meeting is probably the hardest part. It's just,
Mm,
yeah, just putting that time into yourself and investing into yourself to make yourself feel good so that you can project that out onto other people around you. Because you can't always run on empty and you can't always smash your body. Like yeah, you need to invest in yourself.
mm.
Mm.
That's really sound advice. Like I always say, whether somebody comes to me or somebody else, getting help is such a strong way of supporting yourself. There's no
Mm.
awards for suffering in silence and kind of going through life with all this conflicting information and not really knowing how things work for you?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think
yeah.
that's really cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to share or even ask me or just kind of give as words of wisdom?
um, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure. I think yeah. No, I think yeah, just I've really enjoyed working with you. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's changed. I think something as well that I just thought of is it's not like you train eating, you train nutrition, and you give us workout plans. But I think what people don't see behind the scenes is how much mentally you help us as well. How we have our weekly groups chats and like video calls, and like the one we did last or this week, it's just about just helping so much mentally. And I think I was explaining this to a friend as well, just these things that we think that we're the only people going through, and then you talk about them. And for me, it's almost like it's given me permission to feel those things or permission
Mm.
to have that response, which is something that I didn't expect because I'm like, you don't think as a grown person you need permission from anyone, but it's like understanding that you're not the only person that's feeling that way and that a lot of other people are feeling that way, and it's okay that you feel that way. So I think you've helped with training plans, you've helped with nutrition, but I think a big thing that people don't understand is how much you help with that mental um, change around food and perception of the gym and perception of what other people might be thinking and what other people are going through as well. So that's been a big
Mm.
one for me is mental.
I'm really grateful that you shared that because I always say like, food and gym problems are never normally food and gym problems. They're a confidence problem. Either we're feeling a lack of confidence in our skin, we're feeling a lack of confidence to like speak up and take up space. And so we use food and training as tools to either like reward or punish ourselves or, it always comes back to our relationship with ourselves. And it seems so silly, right? To be like, if I start eating a bit more protein and learn about my food and lift some heavy stuff, like my brain is going to change. But you do show up differently when you, for lack of a better word, like have those basics nailed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been a really awesome journey. I've really
That's so
enjoyed it.
cool. You've been amazing, by the way, too, because it is important to note that while you've felt like you've gotten that permission and kind of that, yeah, just kind of like granted the openness to go, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, and I'm glad someone else is going through it. You've passed that on to other people. And so, it's kind of that power of like one person stands up and then three people get affected. And then if they stand up and then
Yeah.
it's just, so while there's that one-on-one element, I'm glad to hear that the community has been really important and helpful for you because again, going through things alone, I don't have all the answers. Sometimes you're more of an expert in something and then somebody else can answer something and you can go, "Oh God, I thought I was like you said the only
Yeah.
one that's ever thought this or struggled with this." And then kind of go, "Oh, okay, if someone else has achieved this or if someone else has done this or felt this way, then I can also
Yeah.
get through this or find a solution."
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. I think that's the giving permission part is just like talking to other people. It gives yourself permission to be like, oh, I'm not the only one that feels like this, or I'm not the only one that's going through this. It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty special.
Mm. Well, what's next for
Mm.
you then? What have you got your sights on? Are you like, I'm done and I'm just gonna hold on to like this body, this shape, or what are you feeling is next?
Um, I think I feel like and I don't know if it's the sports person in me, but I'm always like, what else can I do? Like, how far can I push my body? What more can I achieve? And so I feel like I'm in that mindset of like, I've achieved so much. Can I do more? Can I push myself a little bit more? So I think that's where what I'm feeling at the moment is like, how much more can I push myself? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, the answer
a little bit
is
more.
who knows? You know,
Exactly.
you get to find out, but for sure you've only just like cracked your potential, I reckon. It's an
Yeah.
exciting place to be. And it's an exciting place to be where you're like, I know there's more, and I'm also happy where I am.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Striving from a place of security, which I'm so happy you found. And it's been such a cool thing to be a small part of. You know, you've been
Thank you.
awesome. So I
You've
appreciate
been
you doing
awesome.
this. And I'm hoping that anyone who's listening or watching takes away a little nugget. If people had questions around like coaching or whatever, could they reach out to you or is that,
Oh,
yeah?
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I love talking about it, so it's fun.
Awesome. Well, if anyone does watch or listen to this and then comes through, just drop me like the word penny or something and we'll sort something out because I think the more women that win, rising tide lifts all ships, you know? So I
Mm.
do appreciate you and I'm gonna let you back to your kiddies because I know it's a full-on weekend. But yeah, I
Thank you
really
very
appreciate
much.
you taking the time.
Thank you.